Shalom Aleichem, sweetest friends. This year should be a special Sfas for Refuah Shleima, for Chaim Dov and Ritzis Shoshana, and the Sfas of Avram Yitzchak ben Esther, and Yosef Ezra ben Esther, Lebracha v'Hatzlacha b'chol ma'aseh yedayim. We are continuing our series of Shiurim in the Sefer Sfas Emes. We reached Taf Reish Lamed Hey, Parshas Breishis, Dibur HaMaschil B'Medrash. It says in the pasuk, "Vayechulu Hashemayim Ba'aretz v'chol tzva'am," and on that the Medrash quotes the pasuk in Mishlei, Perek Chaf Hey pasuk Dalid, Havu Sigim Mikesef v'yatzel L'tzaref Kli, that you remove the dross, all the psoles, the waste from the silver, and then a kli comes out, and then the tzaref, the silversmith, made this kli. And that's the Vayichulu, it's a remes to the Kli, and already this Sfas Emes in a previous passage already explained this. We learned it together, B'siyata Dishmaya, and now we're going to see what he said in the year Taf Reish Lamed Hey 5635. Borach Chaim, Perish Vayichulu Miloshen Kol Sanavshi. What's the Vayichulu? Vayichulu is Lashon Kol Sanavshi, close nefesh. That Shemayim Ba'aretz v'chol tzva'am, that everything has a close nefesh, this passion, this yearning, this desire, this soul need to get close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The Isa Perish Eretz. What does Eretz mean? What is Eretz? Sheratzta la'asos ritzon kona. Eretz means that it's running to do the will of its creator. Ki brias hatachtonim haisa rak mitzad haratzon v'ashtokakus. Ki al yonim misukanim biyoser. Lachein, kol chashivos hatachtonim haratzon. The elyonim, the upper worlds, are already close to their Rebbeinu Shalom. They're already holy. The tachtonim, this world, this lower world, what's our chashivos? We're naturally not as holy as the angels, the celestial beings, but what we are is people who are mishtoikik. We have this yearning, this passion, this desire to get close to the Rebbeinu Shalom. Eretz sheratz alasis ritzon, ratz alasis ritzon kona. Ach ki yesh harbe ritzonos acherim. It's true. Man does want to get close to the Rebbeinu Shalom, but man also has other ritzonos. And that's what it means when it says in the pasuk, there's a lot of chaos. Yeah, you're right, Eretz is Ratzal Asis Son Kona, but it's also a lot of chaos. That's what it means. That how you mevar, how do you get through to get to the root of this tohu? The answer is vayhi or. You gotta go be mevar, you have to clarify, you have to get to the Emes of this tohu. What's beneath all the tohu? You know what's beneath all the tohu? Vayhi or, this light. And what's light? Light is Torah. V'tzichon mevar ratzon adei Torah hi or. Uv'Shabbos, in the Likutim, in the Sfas Emes, and Hashmatas, the Parshas Breishis, he writes, "B'medrash Eretz sheratz l'alasus tzon kaina, the avodas adam b'olam hazu haratzon v'atshuke, ki bruam elyonim shleimim yoser, rak haratzon v'atshuke nimsa yoser b'olam." It's like the Sfas Emes is here, that the elyonim are more shalim, but what we have that they don't have is the ratzon and the tshuka. U'malachim nikroim oimdu b'nei adam mahalchim. It says, "Tzati l'cha mahalchim bein ha'omdim me'ela," that the Cheskel was talking about the angels. The angels are omdim, and we're mahalchim. We're going. The ikar of a person is his taiva. So, if you're watching this or you're listening to this, chances are you've had a taiva in your life. Let's call it a piece of chocolate cake. A person's mitzvah for that chocolate cake. A person has taiva for money. Nichsoif nichsafti. Chsoif is kisufin, which is desire. It's also kesef. There are other taivas that we know about. And you should know when you have a taiva that that's your purpose in this world. The only thing is you have to be misava for the right things at the right times. And the ikar taiva of the neshama is the taiva for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And that's why we're here. Ki haratzon hu golem l'moshchel l'chol sheyachbot halev. We have this ratzon, this raw ratzon, and our job is to fashion it into something positive, and to be misava for the right things. And through Torah, this Sfas Emes says we get to the light, as it says, "Vahi or vein or la Torah," and the Gemara in Tainis and Daf Zayin on the base. So back here, b'Shabbos kodesh mizgala ratzon atov l'Hashem yisbarach, and on Shabbos, this great ratzon, this good ratzon for Hashem is revealed. As it says in the Sefer Aschus at the Chedush Harim, u'b'Shas Shabbos nasim kol ratzonos shel Yisrael echad rak l'ratzon Hashem yisbarach. On Shabbos, all the ratzonos become one. They have a ratzon of Hashem shemis achdim b'roza de'echad, like it says in the Zohar Kodesh in Parashas Truma. We become one with the secret of one, and we just want God. V'ratzon zeh shebimos hachol u'b'golus b'ratzonos acherim. During the week, this ratzon is in exile, among other ratzonos. People are involved in business. Why are people involved in business? In order their kids to sit and learn. And he forgets the ikr sometimes. We've all had that experience. The pnimius halev of a Jew is this ratzon to get close to Hashem. Rakshem alubash muster b'galus u'b'Shabbos kodesh nikra shikras kalev k'netzoyeh ben zugach im kein kedusha Shabbos mizgagel Yisrael kamoy kalev v'nikras kalev shem kol sanafshi alachosim. So you have Shabbos. Shabbos is called a kalev, and it says in the Medrash that the kalev is chosin is Knesset Yisrael. So there's this taiva of this yichud between the chosin and the kalev, between Shabbos and Knesset Yisrael. And that's the lashon of kala. Kala is kol sanafsha, that there's this kles nefesh to the chosin. V'cheshik zeh mo'ira b'leiv kol echad miYisrael lahashlich me'olav kol ratzonos hazarim b'hashlocha gedola b'pam achas kedei lotzeis likwas kala. And this cheshek arouses in the soul in the heart of every Jewish person a desire to throw away all the other ratzonos and just to be close to Hashem, to go to likras kala, to come on with Shabbos and come on with the Kadosh Baruch Hu, the Kedusha. So that's Shabbos, and Shabbos is where Megala, this ratzon tov LaHashem Yisbarach. Chosin can think only about the kala, and the kala thinks only about the chosin. Mesachdim b'roza de'echad. That's Shabbos. You can unite in the secret of one. V'zeh shekasav hagu sigim mikesef miloshen nichsoif nichsafta. Parsuk in Breishis, Lamed Aleph Lamed, lashon of desire. We have to be havu sigim vayichulu hashemayim v'haaretz. That on Shabbos, on this day of Shabbos, the Medrash darshans on vayichulu, havu sigim mikesef, remove all the dross from the kisufin, remove all the foreign desires, and the only desire on Shabbos is the desire to be misachid with Hashem. And then v'yatzel tzarif kli, and then that's going to be the vayichulu. That's going to be the kli that we make on Shabbos of this yichud with Hashem. Uperish zed mikodim ksiv Breishis bara shemayim v'aretz v'klal kol abrum. So first it says Breishis bara elokim shemayim v'aretz, and that's the klal. Nachdem v'achar kach haya befrat, and then there were the details. V'achar chazer prat l'klal v'klal uprat v'klal, and then there are the details, and then you go back to the klal. Klal uprat v'klal. It says in the Zohar Kodesh in Parashas Breishis, Daf Zayin Amud Beis, V'Emer Elokim Yihior, Mehacha Yu Sherusa La'ashkecha Genizin Hichis Bari Alma Befrat, Ad Hacha Hava B'Chlal. So first there was a klal, and now you get to the prat. Ubasir is Hader Klal, and then comes the klal. The Mehave Klal Upratu Klal, to be the general, the specific, and then the general. In the Oracham, in the parish in the Zohar Kodesh, he writes, the Pasuk Breishis Kol Al, Shelo Pirish Bo Kol Atzorach El Derech Klal. Mekan Be'elech period enough, and first you have the klal of Breishis bara Elokim, and then you have the details. Ubasar is how the klal of a pasuk vayichulu shemayim baretz have a klal Breishis, and then you have the pasuk of vayichulu, which is again the klal, the all-encompassing pasuk vayichulu shemayim v'aretz. Ve'aklal shachar prat choshev yosem miklal harishon, and the klal after the prat is more choshev than the klal that comes before the prat. V'yimosachol b'bchinas prat, and the yimosachol, the weekdays, are the details. People get lost in those details. Steht in Sfas Emes. It's funny that we should quote the Sfas Emes in this year. In Breishis Vayakel, Tafresh Lamed Zayim, V'lechein Mishkan hayu kol minei lametes malachas. Shehu shoresh kol ha'maisim lachzir al makor achdus. In the Mishkan you had 39 malachas, which are the shoresh of all the details of this world, of the maisim, and then you bring them back to the shoresh achdus, meaning you use them for the Mishkan. Ach, ein yechol level zayidei Shabbos. But how do you get to this? You need help of Shabbos. When it's achdu b'Shabbos shor, so achdu is v'nyum klal leprat, u'prat tzarach leklal, u'klal leprat, Shabbos hu aklal, u'me'amaisu uzbaris kol hapratim v'atim la'Shabbos. That the weekdays are all the pratim, and then Shabbos is the klal. So it starts with the bria, which is the klal. Then you have the pratim, all the weekdays, all the malachas, and then you come back to Shabbos, and Shabbos is the klal. And the second klal is more chashiv than the first klal. V'chol habriya ha'isa l'srachiv shteit in Sfas Emes do. Right over here, we're back here. And the bria was to be marchiv. Again, this is all, I say it in every shir, but I'll say it, it's all Kabbalah. We're just using words we understand, but we don't really know what the Sfas Emes is saying. But hopefully one day we'll be zocher to get to the pnimis of the Kabbalah. The whole bria was to expand this klal and bring it into every detail. So the world kept expanding until Hashem said die. And even now it says that God created to do lasos, because all the Nevraim were our mashpia chiyus, they give vitality to each other. Umikulam yesh told us, and they all have told us descendants. Everything we do has an effect. Everything we do has an outcome. Everything we do has a result. And certainly if we do things for the right reasons, and then on Shabbos, all the maisim, all the details, everything we did during the week, all of a sudden it gets a meaning. That's what happens on Shabbos. Then it all goes back to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's like lahavdil. A person works all week. He works. He's putting in 12-hour day, 14-hour day, 16-hour day. He calls up his wife. He says, darling, I love you so much. I can't come home tonight. I have to stay overnight at the office. We're doing an all-nighter. We're pulling an all-nighter. I'm going to stay up. I'm going to daven here. Go to shul, obviously, nearby. I have my talis and tefillin. I knew just in case. And then I'm going to sleep for an hour or two, and then I'm going to go back, and we're going to keep working. We have a big project to finish. And then at the end of that week, man, it's Friday afternoon. He's about to go home. He is wiped, shibba wiped. Did he have a week? And all of a sudden he gets his paycheck. And he looks at that paycheck. And he says, aha, now I know why I drove myself crazy all week. That's what brings everything together, is that when he looks at that page, says, now I know. And he thinks what he's going to buy with that paycheck. Beautiful. So that's the Havdil comes Shabbos, all the things we're doing during the week. What are we doing this for? What are we doing this for? And now you understand why, because it has a spiritual purpose. Not chas v'shalom the money. It's all for Kadosh Baruch Hu. You're trying to build up His world, trying to be Mekadosh Shem Shemayim. You're machzir everything to the klal. All the details during the week that people get lost in. On Shabbos you come back to the klal and everything has meaning. Shemeidin akol al siburi shoyna. Everything comes back to Hashem. Shabbos Kodesh Machzor Kol Abriya LaKlal Zebazad Hashem Yisbarach Shemidim HaKol Al Sibri Rishon. Everything's made on the original purpose, on the prime move of Zeh Perish Vayechulu Shenasim Kli Echad Lavad Lechvoida Yisbarach, and that's Vayechulu. Everything becomes a Kli for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So Hagu Sigi Mi Kesef. Remove all the dross from the Kisufim, from the Kesef, from the silver. All of the desires that we have should be just for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. V'yotzim Mitzarev Kli, and that's what happens on Shabbos. On Shabbos it's all for Hashem, and then you have this Kli. It's all a Kli for Avodas Yisbarach. Beautiful. Take a pasuk in Mishlei like that. What was the Olam lacking? What was the world lacking? The world was lacking Menucha. And then what happened? Ba Shabbos ba Menucha. Shetachlis kol apulos hu abitl she'achar kach lachzer l'sharsha. The purpose of all the pulos is being mevatel everything to go back to the root. And through this, all of the pulos that a person does return with the person to be davik, to cling to the highest source. V'hi hamenucha, and that's the rest. What's rest? We discussed in a previous Sfas Emes shir, that it's in the right place. You know, you come back at home at the end of the day, and you go back to your lazy boy chair. You're where you're supposed to be, and that's what Shabbos is. We came to where we're supposed to be, and that's the greatest menucha. Right? What's the purpose of the ring? You just have a ring without a chosim. The Medrash says the chosim is the stamp on the ring. Oh, that's the purpose of the ring. That's the coup de grace. That's what brings everything together. Next shtickle b'sefer kol simcha pirish v'hevel hevi gam hu ki b'kain ksiv mikei tayomin shayidei zichron yem amisis or losho ol hevel hevi gam hu b'idenu b'chayim. Kol simcha says, who's the kol simcha of simcha buna mipshischa? It says in the pasuk that v'hevel hevi gam hu, and it says about Cain that he brought mikei tayomin. So why did Cain bring his carbon? So the pasuk is telling us, you know why Cain brought his carbon? He brought his carbon because he realized he's going to die, and that was more to do tshuva. That's what aroused him to do tshuva. But hevel hevi gam hu, he brought with simcha gedoyla, with all of his chiyus, he brought himself. Kisimachtani Hashem b'foalecha, he quotes the pasuk. So he did it bodeno b'chayim, with his chiyus. It wasn't about I'm going to die. It was about his life. It wasn't just, oh no, what's going to happen? I have din b'cheshbon. It was more, Cain was more yiradika carbon, and Hevel was a simchatika carbon. V'yishloim arod kikar carbon yishmisu chadam atzmoim a carbon v'shadei zev yidavik atzmo b'Hashem yisbarach. That the ikar of a carbon, Sfas Emes is another pshat, is that you should be together with the carbon. I am this carbon. And you do smicha on the carbon. You're leaning on the carbon. You're becoming together with the carbon. You can't even, if you move the animal, the guy would fall down. He's leaning completely on the carbon. And that's his way of connecting to the carbon. And then through this, he's davek b'Hashem, because the carbon's not the ikar mechuvan. The ikar purpose is not the carbon. Rakshu goyim is dabekus l'kona. The purpose of the carbon is that it should be davek b'Hashem. Shteit Gvuras Hashem of the Heilige Maharal, Perak Ches, and carbon Zuvas Hakira Vadibuk Bo Yizbarach. Carbon is that there's nothing else in the carbon but that you're being davik b'Hashem. Lotzis menachet lashavei lev Yizbarach, to go out of sin and to be close to Hashem. V'zel lashon carbon is skarvus el Hashem Yizbarach adei carbon. That's lashon of carbon, that you're miskarif to Hashem. You're coming close to Hashem through the carbon. V'chein b'chol hamitzvos tzarich lios hamechuvan l'zdabik al yado b'Hashem Yizbarach. Ki emrak eitzes komash kasav zara kadosh, and all mitzvahs the mechuvan is to be davik b'Hashem, because there's 613 pieces of advice that Hashem gives you, says the Zara Kadosh, to get close to Him. V'zesh kasav hevi gam hu gam is atzmo im hakorban l'chein is davel lifnei lifnei Hashem Yisbarach. It was miskabel for Hashem because He brought Himself. He brought Himself together with the carbon. He was soymech kaviyachol on the carbon. He wants to be with the carbon. He wants to bring Himself back to Hashem. It wasn't just about the animal. The ikar mechuvan was that he should be to Hashem. So therefore, that was the Maila of the carbon of Hevel, Hevi Gam Hu. He brought himself to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So according to the Leiv Simcha, according to the Kol Simcha, Simcha Bunim, he brought Be'odenu Chaim. It wasn't about his death. It was with all of his life, with all of his chiyus, he brought it. And according to the Sfas Emes, he adds another pshat, that it was Hevi Gam Hu, that he brought himself, Mamish, as the carbon to be davik b'Hashem. We should be zocha to be davik b'Hashem b'simcha v'tuv leivav. Amen. Amen. Shalom, shalom, sweetest, most beloved friends.